All right, everyone, welcome back to Unstuck. This week, I'm teaching you how to shift your entire life. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to get everything you ever want in life. And I'm just going to break it down for you and how to do these little tricks that'll help you actually start making the steps towards creating and obtaining and having the life that you so deeply want. And there are 5 tricks that I've implemented throughout the years to get me to where I am today as a podcast host, as a successful corporate employee, as someone who has a partner, as someone who has their dream apartment furnished with things that they love, and someone who drives their dream car. Like, these are all things that I didn't have. If I just look back 3 years ago, I had none of these things. But if I look at today and what it did and what it took in order for me to get these things that I actually wanted so deeply, I broke it down into 5 steps, into 5 different things that I did that you can recreate to literally change your life. So let's get into it. So imagine this problem, and I think a lot of you can relate to this, which is that you are currently in a position in life that isn't really serving you, right? Things are happening, you have a job, maybe you're in certain positions that just aren't fulfilling to you and that aren't really filling up your cup, and you want something completely different. You literally just want to change everything. You want to be successful, you want to know cool people, you want to have nice things, you just want to be magnetic. You want all of these things for yourself, but you're not making any progress towards them. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how to fix that. So, the first step, and this is the most important, and if you only do one thing from this episode, make it be this: write down on a piece of paper. This doesn't work by typing. You have to get out a piece of physical paper with a pen and write down your dream life. Literally write down specifically every single thing that you want and go into as much detail as possible. Literally write it down. And what this does is it tricks your brain. So whenever you write down something as if it is already true, it tricks your brain subconsciously, something to do with you physically writing the words on paper. It tricks your brain into thinking that those things are already true because your brain can't discern reality from fiction whenever you're writing down something about yourself in present tense. It doesn't work that way. It can whenever you're thinking about these things, but whenever you're writing something down, it generally takes those things as facts and absorbs them. So I want to give you an example, and I didn't believe this when I first heard it. I first heard it from the Wizard Liz. I'm sure some of you have listened to her YouTube channel. Incredible. I love her so much. She's like the expert at tough love. But if I look back to a position of 2 years ago to the day, October 18th, 2022, I was in such a challenging position. I was feeling stuck in so many ways. I felt stuck in LA. I felt stuck being single. I felt stuck in my job. I felt stuck not having my own apartment. I just felt stuck in every way imaginable, and I didn't know how to get out of it. But when I heard this piece of advice, I was like willing to try anything. So I did it. And I'm going to read this list that I wrote down to you and I'm looking at the date right now on my notebook. It's my journal. It says Saturday, October 29th, 2022. And I go on to list everything that I wanted out of my life. And I just looked at this list for the first time today before filming this episode. And I'm going down the list, and almost everything that I wrote has been checked off. And this was kind of a mind blowing moment for me. I was like, just reflecting on it, like, I had none of these things that I have now just 2 years ago. I'm literally looking down the list, and there's gonna be one thing on here that I don't have, but everything else came true because what happened is I wrote down what I wanted and my brain absorbed those as facts. And over time, maybe it's not immediate, but over time, your brain starts executing on those things because it believes them to be true. And it automatically puts you into those scenarios and makes you start executing on things that you know you want. So I'm just gonna read this list to you. Use me as proof that this works. I'm going to read this list to you. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you can see right here. It says Saturday, October 29th, 2022, right here. And excuse my handwriting. I'm just going to read right now. I have an amazing partner. I have a partner that I'm so attracted to. I have a partner that spoils me. I have a partner that values me on my deepest levels. I have a partner that wants all the same things as I do. My partner is extremely supportive, loving, kind, generous, smart, and funny. I have my dream career of being an influencer. I have my dream career of being seen and getting exposure where people value me. I have a successful podcast. I host a successful podcast. I make money from my career as a podcaster and influencer. I am wealthy. I own my dream house where my partner and I live together. We're healthy, wealthy, wise, and every single day is beautiful. We both love our careers. I have my dream car. I wake up daily excited to go to work and be an influencer. My podcast is successful. I'm surrounded by beautiful things. All of my friends are interesting, intelligent, inspiring, and challenge me. I'm surrounded by amazing people, and I constantly meet new, interesting people that add value to my life. I have beautiful relationships with my family and friends. I inspire people. I have my dream career, and I fully financially support myself. I get offered everything that I want. I am loved. Everyone wants to know me and be in my life. I love myself. I love my partner. My partner loves me. I just wanted to read that to you because if I going on the list of everything that I have or everything that I've gotten over the past 2 years, everything that I've created for myself over the past 2 years, I started a podcast. It's successful. I started an Instagram account. It's gotten millions of views on some of the reels that I've made. I'm quote unquote a micro influencer at this point. To be honest, I have my dream car. I have my dream apartment. I'm looking around. Everything that I'm surrounded with is beautiful. I have a partner that I love and adore that also loves and adores me. I have friends that I deeply care for, that we all support each other in achieving our goals, and we are each other's support systems. I, started going to therapy. I'm getting my life together generally. And so over the past 2 years, I just started implementing certain things and doing small micro steps over the course of 2 years to get me where I am today. And obviously, I still have a long way to go, right? Like, I want to be doing this as my full-time job at some point. I want to be, wildly more successful than I already am. But what this just showed me is that I have the power to actually create things in my life that I want. And if you can believe this about yourself and you can believe it about me, then you can do it, right? Just truly take 10 minutes today, get a piece of paper out and a pen and write down everything you want in life and just see what happens over the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. I promise you, you will start acquiring these things or at least start working towards getting these things into your life. So if you do any of the 5 things I'm going to tell you today, definitely do number 1. But the second best option, and this is number 2 on my list, which I actually genuinely enjoy doing, I do this every single day, is I spend time every day envisioning my dream life. I don't only imagine what it looks like, what I'm doing, who I'm surrounded by, but I more so and more importantly sit in the feeling of what it feels like to live my dream and feels like to have people around me that are supportive and what it feels like to have a life that I deeply love. And, in the moments where you don't necessarily have all of those things ticked off yet, you don't like have all of them at this exact moment, you can at least imagine what the feeling would be like of having them. And what happens is whenever you spend the time being in that feeling, whatever it is for you, expansive, nourishing, loved, successful, like what do those things feel like? And be specific about those feelings and close your eyes every morning and honestly several times throughout the day and imagine yourself just in that feeling. Like, what does it feel like if I were to get up today and I were to go get in my dream car, drive to my dream job, and go to a date with my dream partner at the end of the day? And we come home to our dream house and there are our dream kids and we just have everything that we could ever want. What does that feel like to you? Truly just like sit in that feeling. And the more you do this, the more your brain and your body honestly get accustomed to it. And they start taking action in the background for you to start pulling your reality closer to what's going to put you into those emotional states. And so both of these first 2 tips that I've given you are ways to basically like hack your system to help you and help your brain and your body and your mind work for you, not against you, work with you, not against you. And one thing I've seen on TikTok lately, which I recently started doing and I can't recommend enough, is to ask ChatGPT to type out and write and narrate a day in your dream life. And just be specific here, like feed all of the things that you wrote from your prompt number one into ChatGPT and literally prompt it. I want you to narrate a day in my life living out all of these things. And what it does is it compiles all of these things for you and it lays out what a day might look like. And when you start reading this, it's really emotional, and it's really the first time for a lot of people that you give yourself permission to actually truly absorb and imagine what life could look like if you were living out your dreams. And I mean, for me, this was mind blowing the first time I did it. I just sat in silence for like an hour after that, and it brought me to tears because it literally listed out everything that I want in life and everything that I desire and I hope for and I dream of. And it like put pen to paper, like put the wheels in motion for me. It gave me a method to visualize what it is exactly that I want in life and how that could look playing out for me. And so it's a very powerful tool. So whenever you do these two things together, what you're doing is basically putting yourself into the life that you want eventually, and just having your body pick up the slack and having your mind pick up the slack to start working on those things for you in the background. And the last thing I'll say about this point is really important as well. So what you're going to actually spend time doing is every day when you wake up, you're going to spend time honoring your dream. So as an example, for me, I have always dreamed of being like a self-help influencer, a self-help guru, because I just feel like I've gotten so much wisdom over the years from the painful experiences I've been through. And I want to share with people those learnings so that they can recognize them sooner, go through them sooner, et cetera, et cetera. So what I do is every morning I give myself 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 5 minutes, whatever I can fit in that day. I allow myself to sit in my dream. And what I do is I pull up YouTube videos and I explore and I learn, and I genuinely go deep on every topic that I want to learn that day. And I'll just give myself permission to spend like 15 minutes just watching an interesting YouTube video that's in the realm of something that I want to learn. And what this does is it gives yourself permission to spend time and prioritize this thing that you want so deeply, because a lot of the times we don't really give ourselves permission to sit and just be happy and imagine our dreams and just imagine what it would feel like if we had these things already. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself permission to actually spend time creating the life that you want. And honestly, a secondary benefit of this is that it helps inspire you on a daily basis. So just try these three things for step number 2. And I promise you, this will help you take your manifestation to the next level. The third tip that I have is something that a lot of self-help people talk about and a lot of universe girlies talk about. And it's called quantum leaping. And I know it sounds a bit sci-fi or a bit woo-woo, but what this is basically embodying the traits of the version of you that has the things that you want already. So imagining that you yourself have already become successful, or you're already doing the things that you deeply want to do, and talking about them in a way that suggests that you already have those things and that you already are that person is like manifestation gold. This is how you level up so fast. And I'm not even kidding. It literally changes everything. So I learned this from one of my previous guests, and I've been doing it ever since I talked to her because it's been working. And what I do is anytime I meet somebody new and they ask me what I do, my answer used to be like, oh, I work in finance and I work at a tech company, blah, blah, blah. And I can just like see the color drain out of someone's face whenever I say that. They just don't give a shit. Like, trust me, neither do I. But what I recently started doing, and at the advice of my former guest, Brittany Donnells, and I'll link her information below too, because she's a manifestation coach and honestly, she's amazing. What she told me to do was embody and talk about your career as if you already have it. If somebody asks you what you do, say, I'm a podcaster. I'm a social media influencer. I'm a self-help guru. I'm a podcaster. And then if they ask you, okay, like, how's that going? Or like if they ask more details, then it can always be like, oh, and I also, as a day job, do finance in a corporate role, right? Because what this tells people is that you're committed to doing that thing and you take it seriously, and you're telling yourself that you take it seriously and that you are this person, you have this career, you're not embarrassed by it, you're proud of it, and you're proud enough of it to share it first and foremost when somebody asks you what you do. And oh my God, the difference is night and day. When I tell you, when I meet new people and I tell them I'm a podcaster, the reactions I get are insane. People want to have a conversation with me, right? Like they want to know, oh, what is your podcast about? Wait, that's cool. How'd you do that? Or do you have guests? Or is it solo? Like, what do you talk about? And just the conversation topics are endless, and they lead to endless routes because people can immediately see that I care about it because I talked about it. They think it's cool, so they want to know more about it. And it just creates this more interesting dynamic to your life. And so whenever you talk about this career that you already have as if you already have it, it empowers you to believe that about yourself. So don't sleep on that tip. And the fourth tip I have for you today is about gratitude, and it's not what you might think. So whenever I say gratitude, I don't just mean writing down a list of 3 things that you're grateful for that day. No, this is a very specific type of gratitude. And what I want you to do is focus on the past couple years of your life. Remember things that haven't served you, or people that haven't served you, or people that did you wrong, or people that just didn't have your best interests at heart. Think about where they are now. Think about things and situations and people that have left your life. If something truly wasn't for you and you haven't seen that person or that situation, haven't heard from them, haven't even had a sign that they're alive in the past year or whatever the time frame is since that thing left your life, that means that that thing was completely out of alignment with who you're trying to be and who you are as a person. You have to express gratitude that those things left your life. Like, you have to be so truly grateful that the things that are harming you, that are not causing you joy, that aren't serving you, aren't making you a higher version of yourself, you have to be so grateful that those things found their way out of your life. I'm not even kidding. Whenever you sit down and you just like become thankful, like give thanks to the universe or whatever you might believe in, just truly give yourself the grace and the gratitude to accept that that thing wasn't for you. And you're just so grateful that they're not in your life anymore, or that that situation isn't in your life anymore. Because whenever you do this, you give yourself permission to then let future things that are in your life that aren't serving you, it gives you permission to let those go as well. And showing yourself gratitude for those experiences is how you continue growing and how you continue seeking out things that are right for you. And the very last thing that I can say today is step number 5. And this is kind of a cheat code for manifestation. And I am surprised that I'm giving out all of these tips and tricks, because this has been like my personal checklist of manifestation and how I've gotten everything that I've wanted over the past few years. But I'm sharing it with you because I think it's super important, and I just want to give you examples and let you know that it is actually possible and that these things do happen if you just give them time and you're fully bought in on them. So this last one is honestly so powerful, and like you'll notice a difference immediately when you start implementing this. But oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sharing this. But what you have to do is view setbacks and obstacles that come up in your path, in your journey of life, view them as opportunities. And this is the most powerful thing you could ever do for yourself. Anytime something comes up and it's challenging, and anytime, a situation arises that you don't know how you're going to deal with, and it's just truly like an issue, it's a setback, view it as an opportunity to learn something about you, your friends, the world around you. Use it as an opportunity to level up. Use it as an opportunity to get you to the next step in life. Use any challenge that comes your way. Just have a mindset shift. Truly think about it as an opportunity to learn something or to better yourself. Whenever you do this, things just start coming to you. Things just start happening for you. They conspire to happen for you. You just are magnetic whenever you view life this way. So instead of viewing challenges as negative things, and instead of viewing challenges as, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? Like, poor me. it's unfair. Yeah, like life is unfair, sorry to say. But whenever you can reframe and take control of the narrative and say, that was unfair, but I'm happy it happened to me because I get to learn X, Y, or Z. Or I'm happy that happened to me because it took me places that I never thought I would go. And this kind of goes hand in hand with step number 4 that I talked about. Whenever you're grateful for challenges and bad situations that came into your life and you can learn something from them and you can level up from them, you can recognize in the future those learnings before you have to deal with the bad situation again, right? So like if you had a really toxic ex and like your breakup was horrific and that person you haven't seen in like 2 years, haven't even heard from them, couldn't even tell you if they were alive or dead, and you learned lessons from that situation, and then you're moving forward throughout your life and you're moving forward throughout your days and you see something else coming your way that mirrors the same triggers or that mirrors the same circumstances as that situation, you can avoid it like the plague. You've already learned, you've been through that. And like, spoiler alert, that's what life is all about, right? Learning from your past, learning from your experiences so you don't make the same mistakes moving forward. That is truly like the only reason we're here. We are here to break patterns. We're here to learn about ourselves, learn about the world around us, learn about the universe, and just continuously move forward. Because at the end of the day, the universe is conspiring for that to happen. So whenever you acknowledge that and you let it happen and you give gratitude for that process of, hey, I notice this pattern happening in my life. I'm going to step out of it. I notice this negative thing happening in my life. I'm going to step out of it. I'm going to learn something from it and I'm going to avoid it in the future. The universe rewards you for that. And that's the whole reason that this 5th step is so powerful and so valuable, because the universe literally rewards you for not continuing things that are not leveling you up as a human. So I just want you to keep that in mind whenever you think about obstacles and challenges that come your way. So there you go. Those are my 5 best kept secrets for manifestation. And truly just know that you have it within you to start creating a new life for yourself starting today. Literally take out a piece of paper, write down your dream life, put it away, put it in a notebook, don't look at it, and just watch how your life changes. And then do all of these other 4 steps to continue helping you level up each day and get to the next step each day. So I can't believe I shared my tips and tricks that are top secret, but you're welcome. And I hope that you also become an expert manifester. And I would love to hear about your experience. So if you're listening to this and you want to tell me about something that you manifested, like please feel free to DM me on Instagram, reply to my newsletter, just find me on any of my socials and reach out to me. And I'm happy to provide my perspective and congratulate you. So I hope this was helpful. And thank you so much for making it to the end of the episode. All right, everybody. Talk to you next week. Bye.